I've done quite a bit of FPV flying at night, and if you haven't tried it yet, I highly recommend it. There's something weirdly surreal and peaceful about it, especially on a clear, still night. Everything feels different, and you'll find yourself just cruising around, soaking it all in. Now, this flight was filmed using the Cadex Polar Starlight camera, which works brilliantly when there's ambient light from street lamps, car parks, and that sort of thing. But what if you want to fly in total darkness? That's where starlight cameras fall short. What you really need is a blacklight FPV camera, like this one, the AxisFlying Owl Pro. It's an 1800 TVL analog camera that uses blacklight technology to see what most others can't. But does it actually work? I'll test it in daylight, at dusk, and in complete darkness so you can see the results for yourself. Hello, and welcome to the Whirly Bloke channel. So the camera comes in an unmarked box, apart from the logo, of course. And in here we've got, let's have a look, a few fixing screws. There's an Allen driver in there as well. There's also a 3-cable connector, wiring harness. There's a spare JST in there as well, by the looks of it, for plugging in the back there. It also comes with the manual, which is more of a spec sheet than a manual, in Chinese or in English. It tells us what it is. Now, it says it's PAL and NTSC, and that auto switches. The resolution is slightly odd. It's 1928 by 1088. And you can power this off anything between 4.5 and a whopping 42 volts, and it consumes 80 milliamps at 12 volts. Dimensions are 19 by 6 by 19 by 6, so it's effectively a 20mm mount camera. As you can see, it's sort of slightly unusual. On the back you've got your JST connector, which has got power, ground and video out. And there's a couple of holes for mounting on the side, and then you've got this slightly weird arrangement on the front here, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now, don't be fooled, there is no connector on here to connect a menu joystick like you get with some analog cameras. So there's no way to adjust the contrast, saturation or anything, which is interesting. Now, when I first saw this, I was slightly confused what on earth this weird, slightly rectangular lump is on the front. But when I took it off, I realised what was going on. So if we just unscrew that, it's here for a very good reason. Well, I think it's a very good reason anyway. Pull that off, hold on. There we go. It's got a very long lens on it, which is interesting. And the reason I think that cover is there is because if you mount this to any of your quads, you're going to be fixing it in the normal fixings. That is going to stick, way outside any protection that you've got in the frame. So this is going to be incredibly vulnerable to any crashes. So I think that is why this is here. Let me just screw that back on. Initially I thought it was just for show, but I think it's there for a very good reason. Now, although it says this is daylight and, what does it say on here? Day and night mode, as you can see. Basically, this camera has no infrared filter on it, so it's not going to work that great during the day, but it is a night vision camera. So let me show you how I set this up for doing my tests. My original plan to test this was to strap it into my Franken quad, my well-known test quad that I use, and take it out for a flight in the middle of the night. And knowing my luck, I'd end up crashing it and searching around in the pitch black trying to find it, so I chickened out. So what I did was strap the camera to the top of my HD0 goggles, and I've wired that in so it's going into the AV input on here, and it's powered from the same battery that powers the goggles. So let's have a look and see what the footage looks like. At the top is the footage direct from the Owl Pro recorded on my HD0 goggles, and the bottom one is from my phone. Now this was taken about an hour before sunset, and the Owl Pro has no IR filter, so it looks all overexposed and is missing most of the colour. It's odd, but you could still just about fly with this. Now this is just as the sun has set. The phone, as you can see, is boosting the levels, and in real life it was much darker. And the owl footage is now starting to display some colour, and you can see more detail in the trees and the branches. And it's also pulling colour out of the sky. This is very flyable. We're now at 2 hours after sunset, and it's pitch black, as you can see from the phone footage at the bottom. But the owl footage has enough detail for flying. Okay, it's reverted to black and white and has lost some detail, but I can still see that boat. I can still see the edges of the trees. And as you can see from the bottom image, you cannot see anything. You can just see the sun just behind those trees there. It's very, very good indeed. So this AxisFlying Owl Pro is $49.99 direct from the AxisFlying website. But Banggood have their 19th anniversary sale on at the moment, and there's a link and a coupon code in the video description below. And I was genuinely surprised at just how good this is for that price. Now, to be clear, this isn't a night vision camera in the military grade infrared seeing complete darkness kind of way. It uses blacklight technology, which simply means it's designed to amplify ultra low visible light, like moonlight, distant street lamps, or ambient sky glow, rather than relying on infrared LEDs or thermal sensors. So it's still very much an analog FPV camera. It's just a very sensitive one. Now, as you saw, all my tests were done from the safety of the ground, but honestly, I feel confident enough now to strap this onto one of my test quads and go for a cautious nighttime cruise. Now, if you do get one of these and give it a go, there's a few things to remember. Fit your drone with a finder or a buzzer with an integrated LED strobe, just in case you crash in the dark. And bring a good torch and probably a mate, because stumbling around in the dark looking for your quad is going to be no fun on your own. And maybe avoid the local bat colony while you're at it. Anyway, I'm impressed. For an analog blacklight FPV camera at this sort of price, this thing punches well above its weight. And if you've got any questions, hit the comments, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more low light lunacy and high flying fun and FPV reviews like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.